Welcome back to another episode. This one right here, I think we're gonna tap into this one. We're gonna call this one prison politics. So this is gonna be about politics in prison, because in prison they got this thing called politics, and that's the rules and standards that dictates each like nationality and each organization's get down and how they move and how it's structured. So in prison you got everything you can think of, right? You got white, you got black, you got Mexican. When it comes to gangs, you got your white supremacists, you got your black elitists, you got your Bloods, Crips, GDs, Vice Lords, you name it. You got them all, right? Serranos, Norteños, you got all these gangs up in there. And there what they got is a person that holds the keys to their people is called a shot caller. And they're the ones that dictate what goes down and how it goes down. And, each yard that's on a prison, differs. You could be at a prison and it has 3 yards. These all different custody levels. They all gonna have different people that hold the keys and their structure. So, certain things in prison, you just can't do. Like, okay, for example, there's a 10 to 10 rule. That means before 10 o'clock in the morning and after 10 at night, certain things you ain't gonna be loud, you ain't gonna yell, you out there playing cards, poker, whatever it is, you gonna be quiet. You ain't gonna be loud, because you gotta figure people in prison, they still got jobs, especially Monday through Friday, Saturday through Sunday. People got jobs in there. That's what keeps the facility running. They got to be up in the morning. They trying to get their sleep. And people in there, they've been on these habits. These are routines that these people have been living for decades. You know what I mean? You don't know if this is the person that got life. They might have been out there 2 decades, waking up at 6 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday and going to buff out the floors. And that used to kill me when I'd have a cellie and this dude be Saturday or Sunday. I might want to sleep in, man. He up early in the morning, 5 in the morning. Especially these older people in there, man. They up before the roosters crow. You be like, damn. So you can't tell nobody about their routine, because just out of due respect, you work your routine in with them. But
I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. With trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what's gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit.
nonetheless, when you up in there, it's like the politics, like for me, for example. So in prison, I don't associate with really too many white people, Caucasian people, Europeans, however you want to call it. All my friends, people that I associate with, are black or Hispanic, And out of that is because that's how I was raised. That's who I hung out with on the streets, Like I told y'all guys in one of the videos before, when I first got to one of my first level 3 yard, I had a white cellie, and this motherfucker tells me, excuse my French, he tells me that I can't be set with the black people at chow time. I'm like, come on now, I've already assessed this situation a long time ago. I went through diagnosis, I've been through county already. Like, look, man, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be me. I got family, I got friends, they're black. I'm not gonna come in here and portray something that I'm not. But what you got in there is that you got a lot of people that's white, Caucasian, whatever it may be, and they succumb out of fear. In my opinion, they succumb out to fear to the regulations. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I had white people come up to me and ask me where I stood, and I told them I'm over here, period, point blank. But for me, like, that really puts me in a real bind, because, like, say for example, when a race riot kicks off, I've got it coming from all sides, so I got to get my back against the wall. I've got to make sure everything's a kill shot, and I got to keep it moving like I'm supposed to, because, at the end of the day, I really don't have no one that truly got my back unless my real close people is there, So, at the end of the day, that's what it is, though. It's a dog-eat-dog world to a degree. So, especially for me, I got it harder than the average person. So, like, say, for example, when the Hispanics or the blacks show up, or a new person shows up, they look out for them right away. They got hygiene packs, things of that nature, they gonna look out for their people. What I found, especially even for the Caucasians, is that, man, out here, at least in Colorado, the Caucasians are some of the grimiest ones anyway, because they preying on a lot of their own people who are already weak by nature anyway. But over here, they're over here banging on their chest and throwing their hands in certain kind of ways, and they're like, You know what I mean? Like, it's just weak, you know what I mean? And I could never take part in none of that. That's not my character, that's not my principle, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, my journey was a little bit different than other people. You know, I see people on YouTube and I hear them, you know, I see the Wes Watsons and all that stuff. Yeah, that's great. I'm not in California, and I get it. Y'all might have a little different get down demonstration out there, but for me, at the core, I can't change that part about who I am. So, you know, peace to that aspect right there. Praise God, because, you know, during my time, the 11 and a half years that I did, you know, I gritted it out, and I stayed true to who I was. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's what's helped me be who I am today and be transparent and flow in the nature that I do. But, you know, you got all these different gangs and races, and, you know, they supposed to keep their people in check. They supposed to make sure they adhere to the rules, that they ain't disrespectful, that they ain't stealing out of the pods, they ain't, you know, doing certain things, because it's a representation. But, you know, I was real fortunate while I was incarcerated. You know, I gravitated towards sharp individuals that helped sharpen me and make me into a better man and allow me to grow into who I am today. And, you know, at this point in time, you know, I'm very happy with who I am today. I'm thankful. And, you know, the successes that I've had are minuscule on the scale of where I'm aiming and where I see myself, is because, you know, the possibilities is endless. And, you know, prison has gave me such a one-up almost with the technology, because, you know, for so many years I never got to use none of it. I never seen it, but everybody else has grown and it's been normal to them. So, you know, what's normal to them, I see in different aspects of how it can be utilized, especially when we're talking marketing and we're talking dollars, something that really drives me. And that's, I'm monetarily driven. You know, at the end of the day, I'm starting from nothing and I'm trying to get something. And I've got a little bit, and I'm thankful and I'm humble for it, and I'm thankful that the Lord has blessed me with these opportunities and these skill sets. But at the end of the day, you know, I want to grow in more and more into the person that I know He's called me to be. And, you know, the politics in prison, you know, you're going to adhere to, you know, the pod rules. You're going to adhere to, you know, certain regulations. For the average white person, yeah, you're probably going to go with the white card. You're going to go sit down where, when I was incarcerated, all the white people and the lightweight weirdos and stuff, they sat right at the front, always, you know. But, you don't know where you sit in the chow hall. That's one thing about prison politics too, is that, you know, you're gonna come to the same chow hall 3 times a day, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be sitting in that same seat. Now, these seats in the chow hall, people get killed over them. If you're a new person and you just rolling up and you just arriving, you better make sure you know where you're sitting at, because, hey man, people, once again, you know, this is territorial. You know, this is boom, boom, boom. These are gorillas right here. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you sit at another person's table and you sit there and eat, you know, you're liable to have somebody just come up and swing on you or put you in a chokehold and yank you out of your seat. You know what I mean? And, you know, you gotta remember, you know, these are the politics. You ain't changing that stuff. None of that stuff is changing. You ain't gonna just come in there and take somebody's stuff unless you're really with that stuff, you know. And once again, a lot of people that's in prison got these life sentences or got these long ass sentences. They're not thinking about no fair fight. To them, a fair fight, especially on a 3 and a 4, they finna get you, and that's the cold kicker. And in prison, they got what they call bone crushers, and these are knives made out of, like, you know, who knows? They could have, like, in prison, you got these machine shops, you got shops where they frame stuff, where they solder and all that type of stuff. I can't remember what it is, but, you know, they got all these things, and next thing you know, you get hit with a piece of plexiglass like that long. You're asking, how does somebody get a piece of plexiglass like that and sharpen it up? Well, they put it up their ass sometimes. They call that keystring, and, you know, that's the craziest thing. You, like, put it up as far as they can, let the rest hang out, and they get through the metal detector and they get back, and then whenever that pressure's on, hey, they in the game. And that's the thing, you gotta always be aware of that when you're in there and you get, you know, that's why, like, in prison there's a hierarchy, you know, like, people know they're not just about to get out of line, like how people be on Instagram and Facebook with these wild comments and saying ridiculous things. You don't never see that voiced in real life, especially in an environment like that. Because, you know, once again, there's a hierarchy. If somebody is holding that level saying, hey, man, who the fuck do you think you are? Bam, slapping you in the mouth and telling you shut the fuck up and sit down. You know, you don't get that out here. You just got people just run their mouth and there's no repercussions. They can say any and everything. And they feel that their opinion is just as important. Well, in grand scale, yeah, surely it is to you. But outside of that, yeah, you got to remember that, hey, you know, people have put in work, blood, sweat, and tears to be able to be having that bar to a certain degree. So, you know, for me personally, you know, I did my time like I was supposed to. I stayed to myself. I stayed to the ones that I gravitated to that was on a certain type of level, and I knew that, you know, was striving for greatness. And then, you know, just did what I was supposed to do, minded my own business. You know, if I walked by a room and I seen somebody in the room getting hit up, man, I ain't even look, you know, I just sensed it. So, you know, these are things that I always would take into consideration, you know, it's probably one of the hardest places to live, let alone year after year after year. Because I mean, tied in, it's like, for me, I'd equate doing time, especially at volume, decades, like that. It's like being alive but being buried in a coffin, because you're living out this reality, you're living out this whole nother separate world, and you're alive, but nobody cares about you. Nobody's looking out to see, you know, you might around holidays, you may get blessed if you're one of the fortunate people, you know. But like for me, like I said, 20 years old, like, man, my friends fell to the wayside. I come from a small family, you know, like I said, the people that I was hanging around and the clique and gang, like there was no loyalty after I got incarcerated. Like, wasn't no, I mean, I think the most people shot me sometimes would be pictures, and you know, it'd be like, damn, bro, I just got a new car, I'm happy for you, but good Lord, maybe 20, 30, 40 bucks, you know, my predicament, you know, the loyalty that I had, and you know, the person, but you know, those all been learning lessons for me, because through that I've seen the loyalty that I had, it's just been placed in the wrong areas. So, you know, now being able to be mature and have the greater understandings of life, I'm able to look at these things and I'm able to move right, you know what I mean? I'm able to move on this chessboard of life strategically, you know, results oriented, and get to where I want to get. So, you know, hopefully you found this video encouraging. You know, the politics in there, you know, I'm so glad I'm not around, you know, waking up in the morning and, you know, having to go out on the yard. When you're on the yard, you know, different areas are segmented by race, and, you know, just seeing stuff and feeling tension and knowing, you know, anything's possible. And this is the type of life you live every day. And I mean, to a degree, it's worked in my benefit, even though I know it's kind of like got me on like some PTSD stuff, right? It kind of works in my benefit, because the levels of stress and the levels of mental warfare that I've had to encounter through that 11 and a half years, now that I'm doing business and I'm moving through this world, like, you know, I'm able to flex the muscle on them one extra time. But, you know, if you appreciate this video right here, I hope that y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm gonna check in with y'all. If you like this video right here, please show some love and hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe and notification button to stay updated for the latest videos. New videos will be dropping Thursday, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, so please stay tuned.